Hi, I'm Kenny Philip Sliger, the Crypto Man. I can help you understand Bitcoin and many more, hundreds of more altcoins. Um, I'm How do I keep track? I have 71 crypto coins, sold a couple, but not many. But how do I keep track of them? Well, when I just had four or three or four, it wasn't hard. I just went to the exchange that I bought them on and I kept track there. But now I have 7 different exchanges because I wanted to get into the crypto coins and into the ICOs, and not all exchanges carry all of the cryptos. So what I did is I started out, put some money into Coinbase because they accept fiat currency or cash, USD cash in my case. Um, and once I had put in a couple of $100 into my USD wallet on Coinbase, then I could buy crypto. Now, initially, I bought crypto within Coinbase. Fees are 1.5% as long as you're trading within Coinbase platform. So I bought some Ethereum, ETH. I bought some Litecoin, LTC. And finally, I bought some Bitcoin, BTC. Now, I didn't know. I thought it was like stock market. You have to buy a lot. You have to buy an entire stock. You can't just buy a piece of one. Well, with cryptocurrency, it's a whole lot different. You can trade 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and extra day on leap year. It's worldwide, and it never shuts down. At least it's not supposed to. So what I want to talk to you in this hopefully short video is about one particular crypto tracker that I downloaded onto my Android phone. I got a little $29 cheapo Android phone and went to Google Play and I downloaded this app. It's called Blockfolio, BLOC FOLIO, Blockfolio. And if you want, you can go to my site, which is the-CryptoMan Can. No, I'm sorry, the-CryptoMan.com, C-O-M, .roughneckvintage, it's ROUGHNECKVINTAGE.com. Sorry, that's awfully long. I did that to honor my father and my 2 older brothers who worked in the oil field as I did, as roughnecks. Tough work, cold, harsh. But anyway, I'd much rather be doing what I'm doing now, dealing with computer stuff and now cryptocurrency. So, okay, now how does this work? I downloaded Blockfolio, and eventually I'm going to get a nice presentation together. But right now, I just am doing this, and I don't know if you can see it or not, but this is a sample of the main screen. You can see at the top, let me get my face in here, $3,145. That is my current net worth at the time this picture was taken. And you can see BTC is at the very top of that list. And you can see what that was selling for at the time, how much that I had. And if you go right down the list, BCH is the Bitcoin Cash. That came about as a hard fork. They don't call them stock splits, they call them hard forks. And below that is ETH, that's Ethereum. And the next one is Litecoin, LTC. So those are the 4 top cryptocurrencies, and you can buy all of those from Coinbase. Now, unfortunately, Coinbase doesn't sell anything more than those 4. Eventually they may, but right now they don't. Now, Coinbase is great for starters, for beginners. Simple to use, reliable. They've been around since 2012, which in this marketplace, that's a long time. Remember, Bitcoin only came out in 2009. So 2012, they were only 3 years after Bitcoin initially came out. And as you might know, that Bitcoin originally had a very dark history. It was traded on on one site in particular called the Silk Road, and on that site you could buy anything. You could buy drugs, you could buy weapons, probably dynamite. I don't know what all you could buy. But the key thing about that site is they accepted this new currency called cryptocurrency, or in this case, Bitcoin, which that was the only one out there. Now, the advantage for hackers and for people buying illegal things is that they had the idea that cryptocurrency was anonymous and that it could not be traced. Whoa, that is not the case anymore. Matter of fact, the Silk Road got shut down. The government closed them down, the FBI did, seized all their assets, and the government ended up with millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin, which they eventually sold. I don't know if they sold all of it, but at one time the government, U.S. government, was the biggest holder of Bitcoin because of what they had gotten from shutting down the Silk Road and other illegal places. Now, I get started talking. I just go on and on and on. I wished I had an outline so I could stay focused and keep this to 15 minutes. And I don't even know if I'm capturing anything right now. I'm using a different camera that just got in mail today. So if this doesn't turn out, well, I'll redo it. Okay, now I showed you a screenshot here, but this is only showing 1, 2, 3, 4 cryptos. Now, Blockfolio fits on an Android phone, and I'm sure there's versions of it work on iPhone. But here is the entire screen. You can see there are 6. There's 2 more coins down at the bottom. And the way this works is you can swipe the screen and you just keep scrolling through all of your cryptos. Or along the top, you see coin. If I click on that, I tap coin, it will sort them alphabetically. If I tap it again, it reverses the sort. So you go from A to Z, tick it again, Z to A. Now the next one over says holdings. Now if I tap on that title, then it will sort that by the dollar value of the market at that time. Now here's something interesting. If I were to tap on the number up there, 3146, that will change from US dollars, which is what I've got set for my preferred currency. It will change to Bitcoin, just like that. And that is kind of disturbing for me at first, but I'm starting to get used to the idea of converting from Bitcoin to US dollars and from Bitcoin to Ether and blah, blah, blah. There's a handy little calculator out there that I use online, and now I have one on my phone too. So I can convert and I can look up what the exact price is at this moment. Now, the nice thing about Blockfolio, other than being free, I like free. I like, user-supported, public domain kind of software, which, incidentally, Bitcoin is in the public domain. I contacted them to find out, could I use this big letter B on my shirt? And they said, sure. It's in the public domain. Use it any way you want. So I like that attitude, and Bitcoin, when they created the blockchain, put all that source code on a website called GitHub, GITHUB.com. And you can go there, you can download the source code for blockchain and Bitcoin, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you can create your own coin, write a white paper, put up a website, have an initial coin offering, and boom, you're one of the altcoins. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of those out there. Now, there's no exchange that covers every one of them. So when I got ready to get involved in what I call the penny cryptos, ones that sell for less than $1 each, I moved. Well, initially I found out I was checking fees. Coinbase is 1.5% on transactions within their own platform. If I want to transfer money from Coinbase over to GDAX, GDAX.com, which is owned by Coinbase, that is a free transfer. Now that's great because I can move my money I can put my money in from my bank credit card into Coinbase, put it in the USD wallet, and now when it's in the wallet, it is protected from market volatility. It is not protected from being lost. If someone hacks Coinbase, steals your money, whatever, and that's a whole nother subject of how do you protect your digital assets. And there are things called cold wallets and hot wallets and hot pockets and paper wallets. So that's a whole nother video. But it's something to consider as you move further and further into it, into investing, and have bigger and bigger holdings. Then you want to be able to have that your crypto coin data stored offline in a hardware device. Now Amazon sells lots of them, but the top three devices are Legend, and these are a couple $100. There's one called Taser, I think, and then there's a third one. Anyway, you can go to my website, find out all about that. Go to Amazon, search for hardware wallet, cryptocurrency, and you'll find lots of information about it. Okay, back to the tracker. Now, Blockfolio is so nice. I can just have it laying by bedside, and anytime I want to check, I can boop, look at it. I can set thresholds and have little alarms go off if a crypto goes above a certain level, certain threshold, below a certain threshold. Happened to me last night. Bitcoin went above 8,000 or below 8,000, one or the other. Anyway, I got a little notification of it, which I don't normally use those, but I'd forgotten I set it and it went off. So now Blockfolio, let me run through some of the other things. Okay, this is the dark theme. Okay, there's a settings page. So that's the dark theme. Now I am publishing a little book. I don't want to use a lot of ink. So I set my Blockfolio up today for light background. And this is what it looks like. Isn't that a lot nicer? So this is much easier, be much easier to publish. And my intention is to self-publish my book and put it on my website and have it to be able to be downloaded. And basically my book is the transcript from the first two videos that I did. First video, YouTube video I did was 32 minutes. The second was 60 minutes. And I found out I can go out there and I can get a transcript, download that, paste it into my word processor of choice, and then I can start cutting, pasting, editing, adding pictures and charts and all those kind of things. One of the things I really enjoy doing is adding QR codes. I've got that on my business card, and I didn't know if it would work or not, but I printed my business card and I put a QR code on the front and on the back, and I can take my phone, free program again, download QR code, and I can just point my phone at it, and the camera comes on, and beep, and then my web address pops up, and I can press that, and bam, takes you right there. So you don't have to type in all that, the-cryptoman.com.roughneckvintage.com. You don't have to type all that. You just point the little QR code and beep, it takes you right there. I love technology. I'd never used a QR code before I put it on my business card. Okay, so now moving right along, I'm not going to bother showing you everything, but here's another screen. You can see that net worth. There's 4352. The one I showed you before was 4363. These are all fresh. I just printed them all this morning, or maybe last night. And here's one for 4351. And you see the little icons over here are changing. This one that I just showed you, the printing on the my right, maybe your left, is all green. That's because I pressed the little button up there, price, right there, price, and it sorted it in descending order with my highest priced item at the top. This is percentage. of gains or losses. Now, this one, I had pressed on it again, and it reverse sorted it, and so now it's showing me in the red over here of my greatest losses instead of gains. So it's just beautiful little program. Simple to use, very reliable. Now, here's one that I don't remember what button I pushed, but you can see there are red and green ones in there. Okay, so you got a lot of flexibility. Now, not only can do that, but if I press on one of these, like here's Bitcoin, if I press right there, on that, anywhere on that line, then what's going to happen, it's going to pop up a chart. Now, this chart can be daily, 12 hours, 24 hours, 3 days, 1 week, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, or a year. So it's interesting to be able to see these charts, and they just pop up really fast, and they're real time. So they update. As you just set on the chart, it'll update. Okay, now here's another feature that Blockfolio shows you. And this is, I'm sorry, I'm not used to this, first time I've ever done this. This is called the order book, and this is public domain. Anyone can go out and look at the order book. Your name is not associated with, there's nothing on here associates you to what you order you're buying or selling or trading. But it's out there, it's part of Blockfolio and the other crypto trackers too. But this is a key element of the blockchain, that there's an order book out there, and it's a general ledger, and it's available to everybody, and it's out there forever. This never gets purged, so that's an important part. Now, I've already talked about this. This was the alert that popped up last night after I had set Bitcoin, and I think I set it for 8,000 low, 9,000 high to alert me. And that's the screen that I did the setup on. Now, here is a summary screen. I don't remember exactly how I got to it, but oh yeah, I know. I pressed on, up in the upper right-hand corner, I pressed on holding, and it took me to this summary screen, and this shows me how much Bitcoin I have right now, what the market value is, how much I bought, when I bought it, and what amounts that I bought. And I suppose if I had a long history, it would just continue going down. I notice at the bottom there's a plus. If I want to buy another unit, or not a unit, but buy more crypto, I can press that and then enter the information. Now, this is one thing that's unfortunate, that Blockfolio does not link and automatically update to your exchanges. That's something that may come in the future, but it's not there now. So you have to go in and enter your own information about what you bought, when you bought it, what you paid for. And that's kind of a pain. But I only have 71, and it's developed over a course of 6 weeks or so. My first buy was December 30th, and I was very, very cautious when I first got in. And then after I played around a bit and got comfortable with Coinbase, then I moved to GDAX because their rates are so much cheaper. Coinbase is 1.5%, GDAX is 0.25%, and some of their trades, like if you do a good to close limit order, which you can't even do on Coinbase, if you do a limit order, there's no charge, I think, right now. Anyway, that may change. Everything in this industry is subject to change. But GDAX, I don't really like the colors of it. It's a real black, dark background. Hard for me at my old eyes to see. But I'm getting used to it. It has a basic market and it has an advanced. So you can do on GDAX things that professional stock market brokers do. You know, setting limit orders and all not. Now, if you want to get really into it, go to an exchange called Polynex, I think it is, That's another old one. And they have a number of ICOs, initial coin offerings, and they allow you to do trade on margin, do puts and calls and stuff that I don't understand, not yet anyway. I'm new to the investing world, actually, totally. When I decided to get into crypto, I also decided to invest in cannabis stocks or pot stocks. There's like 29 states that have legalized marijuana mostly for medical use, but I think 9 of them are for recreational use, California being the biggest. And so I was interested in getting in early on those companies. So I identified 9 pot stocks that I was watching for a while, and then I took the plunge and started buying some of them. But I didn't do this without advice. I signed up for 4 or 5, maybe more, different services. That, you know, a 30-day trial, a 3-month trial, you know, that. And I spent like $1,100 on advice. Now I've canceled about half of that. So, but I've spent about $5,000 on advice on the cannabis market and on cryptocurrency. So what I'm giving you here is not free. Initially I had free, and I had 2 events happen. One, we were watching a webinar, and the man said in the webinar toward the end of it, he said, you know, if you put something out there for free, people don't think it has any value. Hold on just a second. Alexa, stop. You have that wonderful thing for Christmas, Alexa. Plays music in the background. Okay, and tell me a lot of things. What time it is. Unfortunately, she won't tell me who I am. Or when to shut up. Okay, so I've forgotten totally where I was. So maybe I'll just go back to the Blockfolio, okay, which is here. I was talking about the summary screen. Now I have no idea what I'm looking at, but it's another nice, pretty screen. I love all these colors. Each company has their little symbol. And if you look at my shirt, I'll just stand up so you can see it better. I put all of my holdings, they spell that HODLINGS. Someone misspelled it initially, and then the name stuck. So I put all my holdings on my shirt. Front side has 30, and I don't know if you can see it or not, but the back side has 30, plus a QR code to make it my side. So, and of course my website and blog is printed out longhand. But I have rebranded myself as the CryptoMan, and I can help you understand cryptocurrency and much more. Altcoins, you know, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, that's the one main thing. But then you got the other 3 big ones that you can get through Coinbase or GDAX, and then you've got hundreds and hundreds of others. For example, when I wanted to go get some penny stocks, my first really inexpensive crypto, I went to a site called Binance. Kind of like finance, but it's B-I-N-A-N-C-E, and it's a Chinese company. And they're big. They have a lot of cryptos to choose from, over 100 in one particular thing. When you're doing crypto, you buy in pairs. There's BTC, and there's a bunch of cryptos that you can buy with BTC. There's ETH, and there's a bunch of cryptos you can buy with that. And there's LTC, and there's a bunch you can buy with that. And then some of these exchanges, like Binance, has their own crypto coin. Theirs is called BNB, I think it is. So one of the key things to know, and remember this, is that you cannot transfer from one type of crypto to a different type. If you have Bitcoin in an exchange and you want to transfer it to another exchange, you have to go Bitcoin to Bitcoin, or Ether to Ether, or Light to Light, okay? Because you could actually lose some currency because they can lose track of the thing. And I was pleasantly surprised to find out how easy it is to transfer. The site you're going to, the exchange you're going to, you go in there and you say, I want to make a deposit, and it'll pop up two things. It'll pop up a long code, kind of like a registration code for software, and a little box says copy. So if you hit copy, boop, puts it on your clipboard. Then you go over to the exchange that you're coming from, that you want to transfer from, and you put withdrawal. And it'll pop up a little box, and you put in that code of where you're going to into that box, and then boom, all the rest of it's like magic. It doesn't happen instantaneously. Now, from Coinbase to GDAX, it's very fast. If you're going from Coinbase to some of the others, I've had it take minutes, I've had it take hours, sometimes days. Depends on how busy the overall network is, okay, and how many miners are out there. When cryptos go from, I think all digital currency, but when cryptos go from one exchange to another, they have to be verified. And the verification is done by what they call miners. And miner can be anybody. You can do it on your PC. Initially, that kind of was the way it was done. There are services that you can sign up for a month or 6 months or a year and do mining in the cloud. And those services, some of them $15 to start with. You don't make much of anything, maybe $3 or $4 a month. And most likely you will never recover your $15 investment. But you can learn what mining is all about. If you really want to get into mining and make money, and the way miners are paid, they're paid in crypto. So if you're mining for Bitcoin, what you get paid in is Bitcoin. And the mining, I kind of initially said, oh, that sounds kind of neat. I might be able to make money out of doing that. Well, I'm too late. If I was going to be a miner, I should have gotten in way back 2010, 2012. Because the situation on mining now is that to do it, you need to do it on graphic processing cards like NVIDIA, or newer devices is called ASIC, ASIC, which are hardware devices that are specifically designed for mining. And you don't just do one, you do a farm. Racks after racks after racks, in a warehouse. And these things consume a lot of power. So, as a result, mining is done primarily in those countries where power is cheap, like China. China's been cracking down on mining. I'm not real sure what's all happening there, but